it's not obvious out of the gate that these superhero movies and that the hero's journey is about self-love. That's really not ever brought up. And it's always about something else. Like, I need to find my courage, or I need to find my passion, I need to find part of myself. But the reality is, they're not just finding a part of themselves. They are actually finding, and it's not even just finding, they're understanding themselves. And so many times, whether it's in these situations where a superpower almost becomes an identity, and they almost are looking at the outside version of them, even though the superpower is within them, it's like they're viewing themselves from the eyes of everyone else around them. And then they're attempting to live up to that. And it's funny because at that point, many of the times they are, quote unquote, out of control, right? They don't know how to control their power.
Yes.
And so it's no wonder that that because they know so little about themselves, that they're not able to direct the own power within themselves. And until they take that inward journey and they really dive into understanding themselves, that the power in themselves start to align. And so, yeah, it is amazing how it is that, and then they can access the very depths of their power. It's like, oh, you're only tapping into a little bit of your power. There's so much more within you.
Yes.
And the reality is that's how it is with every one of us. It's our superpower is our authentic self, because there's literally no one else like that in the universe or multiverse, whatever you believe in.
Exactly.
No one is experiencing the same thing that we're experiencing. No one is making the exact same choices in the exact same way as us, because no one has had the same past, and no one will have the same future as us. So we're literally a unique expression in action. And so that is, in many ways, super.
Yes. And that's the amazing thing, is the moment you begin to truly embrace self-love, then all of these other things so fall away, like the perception that you have to compete with people or things outside of yourself, right? And I'm going to keep going back to that superhero journey kind of thing, because superheroes don't end up competing with other superheroes. They know that the power that they bring is unique unto them, even if it's similar to another one. So they combine forces to do more good in the world. And so competition begins to fall away. And when I truly connected to knowing myself, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, I'm human. There are going to be moments when I have self-doubt, but being able to always go back to that true center and use the skills that I have practiced for so long to bring me back to that point, it's just like that journey, right? Anyone who has watched these movies or seen or read any of these books about any kind of individual who goes on a heroic journey knows that there are going to be times they go off path, but then they get back to that place. They get back to that center using the skills that they gained. And so we have to understand that by using that, we don't see others who have amazing skills too and bring so much to this world as competition. We see them as allies, as ways to connect and make our world an even better and more amazing place. And how wonderful is that? To have the confidence to no longer feel like no matter what, I'm not less than someone else. I'm an addition to them.
Yes. And that can work individually. That can work in a family. That can work on a corporation side. That can work nonprofits, and there's so much nationally, like different countries. We all know inherently that we're stronger together. Yeah, we seem to fight that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I would like to circle back to the point that you made about, not being perfect and being human. And I feel like it's interesting because when people hear the term superhuman, it's like there's so much focus on the super part that they forget that the super is an adjective to describe the human. So the human is actually the focus point. And so if we're so worried about the super, then again, it's like we're putting all of our focus and awareness on the thing that's describing us, not the actual beingness that we are. And so the super can't exist without the human.
Exactly.
And so that's where when we allow ourselves to be human and the expression of our human is super, then it kind of flips that script. And then we no longer are allowing whatever it is that makes our uniqueness, we are letting that be the driver, versus us thinking that whatever it needs to be is the driver.
Yes. And we came here to be human.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what your belief system is, however you feel you arrived into being a human,
Yeah.
we all somehow ended up here, right? And so there's some element of us that desired this experience. So why wouldn't we embrace it fully? Like, this is an opportunity, and the choice is ours as to how we're going to embrace that opportunity. Each and every second, the choice is ours as to how we're going to embrace it, right? Things do happen to all of us. And so the only thing that we can direct is our choice as to how we interact with it.